everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today I have a very special guest with us. I have Armaan Anand, aka Andy, with rendr.club. Hey there, Andy. How's it going?
I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you?
It's a beautiful sunny day in Las Vegas. I can't complain. How about yourself?
It's cloudy at 7:33 in the evening in the UK, so it's typical weather. Typical weather.
I understand. It was like that when I was in Ohio, Northeast Ohio. It's cloudy every day. Like when the sun would come out, it was like a big event. People would go out and look at it because, like, what is that thing?
Yeah, they always said that if I would ever move to US, I'd probably go there because I'll be used to the weather. So yeah, I'd probably pop down to Ohio. It looked like a normal day for me, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So Andy, why don't we just go ahead and get started? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Based in United Kingdom, in a town known for Robin Hood. I'm originally from London. I'm currently 2.5 hours out there at the moment, in a place called Nottingham. I'm 28 years old. I turned 28 in May. Big gamer, love gaming, addicted to gaming. I'm a console, so I come from a console background. Not really ever played PC formats ever. Although it does fascinate me with the flight simulators, the games that they have on Steam. I've always wanted to try, but I've never always had a computer which was powerful enough to actually use. So yeah, I'm more of a console-based person. I make music as well. I'm a producer, and for my 9 to 5, I'm a digital marketing executive and a director. So it's pretty cool. Hands in different areas, and it's really cool to just keep busy, basically.
Fantastic. Well, there's a lot to unpack there. So, but before we do, I'm going to ask you the same question I ask all of my other guests. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you, Andy?
I'd probably say a solid high 8.5.
8.5. Why is that?
Yeah. Well, everyone, so I wouldn't class myself as the class clown. I'd just be like the class crazy dude. So, a lot of my friends love when I, jump on party chat with them and just talk crazy nonsense to them. I guess, when you're a music producer or you're into gaming, you need to have a big imagination, right? So, when you're younger, obviously kids, like to play football, which is obviously soccer. Football here, cricket was big here in England, and, doing all the sports stuff. And then there's me doing all that and also pretending I've got a lightsaber in my hand. Just imagining a couple of droids coming after me or some stormtroopers in my head and doing this crazy kind of Dragon Ball Z imitations on the middle of the road or whatnot. So, yeah, people know me that I'm a bit crazy in that aspect, yeah.
Certainly. And it's a little bit cultural because when we were speaking before the show on a phone call, you mentioned that being in the UK, things are a little more stodgy there.
Yeah, they are. I'd say UK generally, even when it comes to music, when it comes to arts in general, I mean, we like to wait for another group of people to do something for us than to latch on to it. So we're very narrow-minded. If we think something's really different here, we like, whoa, like, okay, that's different. We don't really like that. But, I guess stuff in the US, you guys are pretty open to new stuff and, more accepting, as in we're very, very, very narrow-minded and hard to please, I guess.
All right. Well, so this is the Gamerpreneur. So I'm going to need your gaming cred. When did you first start playing?
Cool. I started at the age of, I remember this very well. So at the age of 5, it was my birthday. And I believe roughly, I think a few weeks before my birthday, the PlayStation 1 came out. My father and my mother took me to a game store, and there's this huge box. And I remember on the counter, I didn't know what it was. And my parents were, obviously over enthusiastic because it's my birthday, whatever. Hey, we got you a PlayStation. And I was like, oh, brilliant. I don't know what this is. And I remember the PlayStation 1 box. It was the original, and it had the Need for Speed, the first ever Need for Speed game. And it had the alloys. I think they had on the actual cover, it was a picture of an alloy, I believe, with smoke coming out of it. And it had it on the box. And I unpacked it, and little did I know, I'm 28 now, and I'm still playing PlayStation. So I'd say, the first ever console that, I really loved playing and first getting into video games was thanks to the Sony PlayStation, and also arcades. Going to, your cinema, and you've got your arcades there in the cinema area. And I used to love playing Virtual Cop, it's by Sega. Virtual Cop 2, Time Crisis. They were my favorite. Daytona USA, with that, that Daytona, that crazy song that they used to have. I still got it in my head. So yeah, big arcade fan and big PlayStation fan. So that's where I started from, to be fair.
Fantastic. And you've just continued it as a lifelong passion?
That's right. So, got pretty much all the consoles. I moved to PS2, PS3, now PS4. Obviously, it used to be done as recreational. So, whenever you got free time. When I was at university, FIFA is still very big. So that platform, it was very, very big to boast how good you are at FIFA during, your 18-year-old to 25, 26-year-old lifespan. It still is now, but we'd have tournaments and stuff, especially during university. When you're living together with a bunch of people, we'd just be playing that pretty much like 6-7 hours in a row. So yeah.
Wonderful. All right, so what are you playing now?
So right now, it's so funny. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. Your PlayStation 1 used to have at least 40, 50 discs across the lifespan, right? And you'd obviously then go trade it in. I've looked at my PlayStation today. I've only got 3 games on there. I don't know if that's because it's a memory issue, thanks to Warzone, but right now I've got FIFA, the new FIFA 20, obviously. Then I've got the NBA, because I love basketball. I don't know how to play it, but I still try to play it. Yeah, trying to get into the American sports. Star Wars Battlefront 2, that's just for nostalgic reasons, because I used to love Star Wars Battlefront on the PS2. That was game changer for me. And Call of Duty and Fortnite I've got. I really love Battle Royale. I think that's a brilliant, amazing concept that they've come out with.
Wonderful. All right, so this is kind of one of those fun questions.
Yeah.
Desert island scenario. You get one game for the rest of your life. Power cable, Ethernet cord. What is it?
Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna have to go with this with GTA.
GTA. Which one?
The one which is out now, which they seem to not want to bring a new one in. But yeah, that one. Simply because it's open. I love open sandbox games. So yeah, GTA would be, because I'll have loads of things to do. I can go shoot someone up, or I can get shot myself. Whatever I can do. I can go for a cruise. I think that will keep me very, very occupied for about a full, couple of days before I go crazy. So yeah, GTA.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's get to the preneur part of gamerpreneur. Can you please tell me a little about your professional background, how you ended up where you're at?
Yeah, so I actually did a degree in English literature, so that was done, and I always kind of wanted to get into marketing. So I once I graduated, I started working for a few agencies, and worked my way up, working from startups within the tech community. I love tech, so I try to stay within that community there to work. So kind of went up the ranks, doing digital marketing, and then moving myself up to exec level. And yeah, now touch wood, I had the opportunity of being a marketing director for a startup company, which is amazing. And yeah, I guess that's where I come from in terms of background. In terms of that, I'm officially digital marketing director now, so it's great. It's really fun to be in that, to be fair.
Beautiful. And okay, so let's rendr.club. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so rendr.club, we are currently making a marketplace for gamers and video editors. So we are targeting both the gaming markets and content creators online. So there's 2 funnels, and basically what we're trying to do is have a really cool workspace and marketplace where a gamer would come onto our website, join the club, hence the rendr.club situation, and find a video editor that they can meet through their portal and understand. They're trying to build relationships. We're all about relationship building here. And what would happen is basically they'd get into an agreement, and they can offer to get 5 videos done or 1 video done for just to test the waters out. and the video editor would then, create their gaming montage or footage or highlights they want to clip from their Twitch stream or however long stream from whatever platform there is, and basically then, purchase for their transaction, and there you go. You have a brand new edited video. I'm trying to really target the new gamers, because we know how big this gaming industry is, right? When, obviously off call, I was speaking to you about it, how massive this industry is. And I think it might be a little bit too much for a new gamer to get in and really realize the scope. So we've decided to obviously make this little platform here to make it sound, much more easier, and much more, the process is much more calmer, so they don't have to go out on Twitter and find themselves a video editor that they don't have a clue about. They can, be backed by the Render Club and have a really good CV or resume, and feel confident that they're giving their money to an editor who will be able to churn out what their desires are. So Render Club essentially is that. It's going to be a cool marketplace for gamers. We're targeting them, so we'll have cool features which are relevant to the gaming community, and we'll also have relevancy for the video editing community as well. So the messages of the, let's say for example the briefs, make them quite clear and concise for a video to get on with their job, and for the gamer to sit back and relax and wait for their new video to come out.
Very cool. All right, that's a fantastic idea you got there. How did you come up with it? I know you have a business partner. Who came up with it, and what got you into this?
Sure. So it's actually my business partner's idea. So his name is Nav. So Nav, in January, I think it was just roughly around Christmas time, we were pondering at, becoming streamers, because we, again, with the whole "how weird are you" question, we are pretty weird together, and individually we are also weird. So we thought, people have always said to me personally, you should stream, you'll get views, people will like who you are, and you're crazy. I'm not the best gamer, but I'm sure I can entertain someone. So they, we thought, let's try streaming, for example. But then we realized, okay, we're streaming, we're not getting any views. What do the gamers do? So what they do is they stream on Twitch or whatever it is they stream on, and then basically they clip their content, right? And they put it on YouTube, and then obviously they get their viewership from there as well, for highlights of their best bits. We realized we don't really know how to video edit properly, or we don't really know how to, so we don't really have the time to sit there for an hour and clip the best content. So we thought, oh, okay, I don't think there is anything out there which is just dedicated to gamers and video editors. Why don't we make our own platform? Obviously, you've got your freelance sites which are currently out there, but they don't necessarily only cater to the gaming industry. They hold a big variety of services, which is great. But I don't think there's anything that's targeted to gamers per se, and really understands their frustration, really understands a video editor's frustration. I mean, I'm on Reddit all the time, and people are like, oh, how do I where can I get business from? I need to find a gamer, or I need to find some content creator. I want to create content, but I don't know where to start. Hopefully this will be the catalyst for that, and people will feel welcome to join our community. So we thought, let's create this and let's give it a go. And that's where the problem actually lied from, where we didn't really know how to, edit stuff basically and sit there for an hour or clip it. So yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So with your marketing background, I'm assuming that you're essentially helping promote this.
That's correct. So the way we're going to work is basically I'll be doing all, front of house marketing, branding, etc. Brand partnerships, hopefully one day in the future, touch wood, and all things, that people will see. So, with the email marketing and stuff like that. Whereas my CEO, my partner Nav, he is the programmer. So he does stuff that I have no idea what it is, but it's all to do with coding, the actual website, because there's going to be a lot of intricate coding that needs to be done within the website per se. With all the, servers and stuff like that, we need to obviously make sure we accommodate to a gamer to upload a big file, because I know these files that if you're getting raw data for an hour of a video footage, you're looking at least minimum a gig, 2 gig, right? So, we need to make sure we accommodate that, and that's what he's handling. So I guess we've got a really good 50-50 here. So, I handle all the trying to bring the business in while he actually creates the product. So yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So I love talking to marketing people, especially on my show, because my goal on the show is to teach gamers sales and marketing. Like that's what got me into doing the show. Is I looked at streamers, I looked at esports players, I looked at like just the whole just general field, and there's a very, very, very small percentage of gamers who have any clue what they're doing.
That's correct. Yeah,
so
that's correct.
What advice do you have for the average person who wants to promote themselves and become a brand or start a company?
Yeah, I think number one is invest in your brand. You need to, little things. So think of yourself as a shop. Like, why would people want to watch your stuff? If you've got a great personality, you need to show that. Therefore, get a webcam and make sure people can see the face behind the voice. And make sure when you're doing social media marketing, you've got to basically push your brand in such a way where everything's consistent. You've got to get organized. It's got to be done. So I'm talking about logo design. Find a logo designer that's in your budget to create your logo. Get yourself an online print. That's the way I see everything. A digital print. Everyone needs a digital print in this day and age. A Google search. If they want to search, your gamer tag, what are they going to see on Google? Are they going to see, ideally, what you want is your Instagram, your Twitter, your Twitch page, or your whatever streaming service you use. You want them to come up first. So, and the only way you're going to do that is if you build your content, you build your brand, make your stuff really interesting. Clip the really funny parts or stuff that's really going to cause an engagement on your social media profile. So that's probably what I'd say.
Okay, fantastic. So, like, what are some concrete steps a streamer might be able to take in order to increase their viewership, other than branding? Because that's kind of a general.
Yeah, sure.
thing.
I think another thing is also invest in your viewers. So, whenever you get a new viewer, really invest in that person. Why have they come onto your channel? There's millions of channels out there. Why have they come onto yours? Are they just randomly streaming? How are you going to keep them occupied, and how are you going to keep them, stay on? So what I'd say was, if you see a new streamer that's come on, a new viewer that's come on and he's subscribed to you now, what are you going to do for him to stay? Talk to him or her, whoever it is. Make sure you make them feel included. Make sure you've got to think of yourself as a community, as a network. You're trying to build your kind of status. But the only way people do that is relying on other people. That's how all these streamers are doing well, because what are they judging it off? It's off stream views, right? So it's how many people are viewing you. So the only reason why is because they've invested in those people, taking time to shout them out, and stuff like that. You've got to really invest in the people that have decided to click that, view button or subscribe button or comments. Someone commented you saying, hey, good job on no scoping or quick scoping or whatever you want to do. You've got to say thank you. You can't just ignore them, because they want to, as much as you do, they want to feel a sense of belongingness as well. They want to join a movement which they feel comfortable in. So I'd say you've got to invest in people, number one.
Fantastic. All right. How did you learn all this? Because like you said, you were an English major, which is kind of funny, but how did you study marketing, and how can somebody else follow in your footsteps and study marketing as well?
Sure. The thing is, with my marketing journey, it was all self-taught. I didn't do any courses. Obviously, as you've mentioned, I came from an
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, exactly. And what you do realize is basically there are several steps and basic principles within marketing. Obviously, you have your people. A lot of people come to me and say, "What is SEO? What is PPC? What is Google AdWords?" I think what's happening is these acronyms, for example, I've put a lot of people off because they think that's all there is to marketing. Marketing is a big umbrella. So what you need to do is you need to pinpoint at the first, you need to start your theory right. You need to understand, what it is that marketers do and how do they do it well. How do people push a product out, for example, and how do they get engagement? Once you start learning, okay, cool, I'm going to put a really cool post up to increase engagement, or a question up and on your social media, and you see people, commenting on that and having debates on that. As much there are trolls, organic interaction is by far the most powerful you can ever do. It's, you don't need to pay for it. You don't need to promote anything. And B, it's getting other people involved. You're dragging people from other networks involved into your post. So I'd always say, look at the basics, start from, understanding what marketing is, don't look at SEO, don't look at PPC for now. Forget all those technical words that might, frazzle your brain. Just understand how marketing works, what type of marketing actually interests you, because a lot of people have 360 experience, but they eventually kind of simmer down to one or two direct concentrated marketing. So I've done all sorts. So I started from a 360 marketing, then I went into a agency where I just purposely just did technical SEO, because I wanted to understand how do I elevate someone's webpage, for example? How do I get them to page one? And all I did for a year was bang SEO keywords on on SEMrush, for example, which is a platform to actually implement your SEO strategy. So find out first what interests you in marketing, what type of marketing interests you, and just research. Go on YouTube. YouTube's your best friend, man, and Google. So I'd say those are the two elements, I'd say.
Very cool. All right. So Andy, what makes you special? What makes you unique and so good at what you do?
To be fair with you, I think what makes what people say that the reason why I'm good at doing what I do is because I'm passionate about it. I think that's also a flaw, because with me, if I don't like something, I don't put 100% in it at all, and you will clearly tell when I don't care about something. So that's a downside. But when it's something that really interests me or I'm really passionate about, you're gonna get 110% from me. That's probably what really fuels my drive to excel, basically. That it's just the passion that really helps. I kind of wear my passion on my arm so you can actually see it flourish, basically.
Fantastic. All right. So how long have you been doing this marketing then?
So I am now in 2020 now? Yeah. So 6 years now. I've been marketing for 6 years. Yes,
wonderful.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So if you could go back 6 years in time and you could go talk to little Andy, hey, little Andy, here's some advice that you're going to learn over this journey, but this is the one thing you need to know. What's that one thing?
Be direct in what I want to do, because what I was doing was I was trying to do stuff which had overall results, a host of results. So for example, I did an English major. With English majors, what do people associate that with? A host of industries you can get into. Teaching is one of them, people say, but it was too big. It was like I finished uni and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Did I want to get into teaching? It didn't really interest me. So marketing was another subcategory, and I picked that out of all things. And I needed to learn to be a bit more direct, because I like to, what I've learned back in the day was I'm always trying to look at doing something that gives me multiple options. But then when I was we reached that stage with multiple options, I got confused. I didn't really know what I was trying to do and what should I pick. And, I wasn't consistent through with what I wanted to do. So yeah, definitely go direct. It's the best way.
All right. How about if somebody was just starting into the industry? You got any advice for them?
So was that with marketing, or would that be
marketing? Because you're still building Render.club, so I mean,
100%, yeah. So with marketing, I'd say pick something that really interests you. Find which industry suits you as well. So whether you're into sports or whatever it is, go into that, understand how people market within that industry, and basically you'll be able to pick that up and it will start working like clockwork for you. It will all start making sense. Don't think of overall marketing techniques. Go into the industry you like. So for example, esports, understand how these esports teams, these games, how they market and why they market and who they market to, and it will start making sense.
All right. Right on. All right. So at this point, I want to pull back a little bit, and I want to focus on some character traits of your own, because, I believe that our biggest learning points in our life are when we fail, and usually fail horribly. And we are able to pick ourselves up and shake it off and then move on with our lives, but with that baggage of knowing something more. So I want to know, you've done all these incredible things. You're starting this business, but what is something that you have failed at, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah. So would this be something that's from a personal experience, or would this be from a business experience?
Either or, whatever sticks out to you most.
Yeah. So I guess I think one of the things that I tried to do what I was doing at university was I was doing a lot of university events, right? So I was doing a lot of the club scene there. That was going great. And then obviously I've always wanted to kind of be my own boss. So me and my business partner previously decided to open up another app. So this was before rendr.club. So yeah, we opened this app. We tried to, make it happen. Yeah, unfortunately, it did fail, but that's startup life. And that was my first ever experience of, I guess, corporate per se failure of something you've tried to build up. And yeah, it was a big kick in the teeth, but now when I think of Rendr, it's like the stuff that I didn't know back then, we've already bypassed those issues, and we're working, really, really well now. And we've learned from our mistakes on how to, overcome certain things. Startup life is hard. You've got to do everything yourself. And we, just little things, some like working in Scrum, for example, or, working in sprints, we've kind of bettered ourselves. And now that I think of it, I'm happy that kind of failed, because I wasn't ready, mentally. I wasn't ready to run a business at that age. I was roughly around 24. I think I was 24, 25. Yeah. So, what you learn over the years is really, really, kind of gold, basically. So yeah, I'd say that was a failure, but in essence, it's not a big failure as possible, because we were running smoothly so far, touch wood, on rendr.club, but we've learned from our mistakes, which is great.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Kind of another personal question. What is something you think people misunderstand about you when they first meet you?
So I was looking, yeah, so that's an interesting question. I think a lot of people, it's funny because I think it's just the way I dress. I dress very, I don't know what the term is in over there, but over here we call it hood. So hood being quite urban,
that's the same here.
yeah. So yeah, well, yeah, there you go. So I guess people think that, when they hear me speak to different clientele, because I've been brought up in such a way where you learn to adapt and speak well with different people. However they speak, you speak on their terms, so they're comfortable with it. And especially during my work experience, after university, I was speaking to like people of head of procurement at Apple, for example. So, there's a way you talk, there's that whole corporate voice, for example. And whenever I go into meetings and stuff, people are quite shocked. So I'd say they think that I might be too hood, but then they realize, oh, wow, okay, cool, he can actually speak well. So I guess that's probably one thing, especially because I do music as well. I think I fit the narrative of, producer, gangster, whatever, but that's definitely not me at all.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What got you into music?
Sure. Yeah, I've loved music from day one. I've been brought up with various genres. My dad used to love, it's all been American music, to be fair. We've really loved, my dad used to love the, the breakdancing era. So you had your Soul Sonic Force, the 80s, with the boombox and stuff. So that was the stuff I grew up on. And then I grew up, obviously, because I'm of Sikh descent. So we've got our Punjabi culture, which is like Bhangra music. So that's from India, in the Punjab. So I was exposed to all these genres. And, there was people back in the day who were merging the two genres together. Obviously, you've probably heard of Punjabi MC, the guy who did the track with Jay-Z and stuff. And that track still plays today. And that was made in 2000 and God knows when I was probably like 10. And it still plays today. So I've been brought up in such a big musical kind of influence. And I actually was a beatboxer. So I used to beatbox. I was started at the age of 16. I used to do a lot of performances. I also toured. So I did a tour with a radio DJ here, a big radio DJ here in England. And we went to India. We caught 4 flights in 6 days. That was pretty crazy. And I went back to university like nothing happened. So, everyone asked me, where did you go? And I said, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. So I had to take a week off just to get back on the jet lag. But then I during university, I transitioned from beatboxing to basically going into music production. So from 2015, I've been producing music actively. And yeah, it's doing pretty well so far.
Right on. Very cool. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that some more, because I have my own experience in the music industry, which we've mentioned before.
Yeah, sure,
But
sure.
so this has been a fantastic interview, Andy. How do people find you? Where are you at on social media?
Yeah, so well, because I've got so many personas right now, and obviously render.club isn't kind of live just yet. We're still in early phases. You can get me on social media. I go by my music profile name, which is Equinox, which is spelled EKKWINOX. The render.club will be, very, very soon opening up with our landing page due to be released next week. So that'll be great. And yeah, feel free to go onto that. So it'll be the domain name will be render.club straight. No .coms, not .co.uk's. It'll be just render.club. It'll make us a little bit different, and we'll take it from there. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So is there anything else you want to cover? Anything I didn't ask you think we still need to talk about?
To be fair, I think we kind of targeted pretty much everything already for this kind of. It's interesting because before we spoke, it's great to kind of get maybe a before and after, we were saying. So this is like the before stage, and it'll be great to obviously touch base with you once we're up and running, a year down the line or whatever, and tell you more about how we are facing challenges or whatever we found out about the gaming industry and how it works and whatnot. So yeah, it's really interesting to I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity today, and it'll be really interesting to hear this a year from now and then give you a call and say, hey Bradford, we've come far, a long way, so let's just see what happens.
Absolutely. All right, well Andy, thank you so much. We genuinely appreciate you coming on with us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. And on that note, I'm going to remind everybody else, don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.